Breaking news, they have now pumped 125 billion into the banking system in the last 5 days. The chart above shows that on Friday and yesterday, boom, they pumped a bunch of liquidity into the banking system. I've been trying to teach you guys the game. Jerome Powell said they're going to continue to lower rates. December 1st, they're going to stop quantitative tightening, and they're about to turn this printing machine on full blast. And what I'm about to share with you is my opinion, my own research. Do your own research, prove me wrong. But I'm going to share with you what I believe is going to happen by 2030. I'm also going to share with you personally what I have done about it. So first, here's what I believe is happening now. Is you need to understand there's been 3 interviews on 60 Minutes back to back since the 10/10/2025 crash, which I told you guys a black swan was coming. It liquidated 19 billion out of crypto. This is why I do not teach get rich quick. I don't teach hype. I teach fundamentals, discipline, consistency, and long-term horizon. We buy when there's red, and we sell when people are greedy, which is green. We build ecosystems inside and outside of cryptocurrency. We do not believe in get rich quick or hype. We stick with fundamental, long-term things that will be here. There's been 3 interviews back to back, and if you don't follow my YouTube channel, check out 3T Warrior Academy. I just did a video to break this down. Is right after the 10/10/2025 crash. They had Larry Fink on 48 hours later. They're talking about the 1929 crash. And then on the back end of that video, Larry Fink comes on and he recommends that people should be getting into alternative investments to include cryptocurrency. He admits that he said it was used for money laundering, fraud, and now he's the number 2 holder through BlackRock in the world in Bitcoin. And then just a week later, 60 Minutes has Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner on there, and they asked Steve Witkoff about conflict of interest. He's with Trump all the time. He is the one traveling around the world, and he says in this interview that he can pick up a phone to any world leader. And they asked him about conflict of interest because he's connected to World Liberty Financial, and so is Trump. But if you look 3 weeks ago, right before these interviews hit live, and I don't know if there's any connection here, but I pay attention closely, on the World Liberty Financial website in the About section, it now says Donald Trump co-founder, Steve Witkoff co-founder, and it says Emirates One. If you look up Emirates One, that means co-founder, but no longer making decisions for it. And Steve Witkoff admits in the 60-minute interview when they call him out on a conflict of interest, he said, I've divested from all of that. Well, if you look at the website on World Liberty Financial, his boys, Zach Witkoff and Alex Witkoff, run World Liberty Financial. Trump also has stepped out, and his boys, Donald Trump, Eric Trump, and Barron Trump, run World Liberty Financial. World Liberty Financial is a DeFi platform. World Bank. They have USD1, the fastest growing stablecoin. America now has USAT, the largest stablecoin in the world that holds 90% of the supply of stablecoins. What do stablecoins use to make them one-to-one and stable? Short-term treasuries. What was collapsing? The bond market. The Genius Act. Oh, that's genius. They signed into law the Genius Act after they created USD1, which connected to World Liberty Financial, a world bank, which is a DeFi platform, which is different than traditional financing, which is decentralized, where you and I are the bank. This is getting interesting. And then Trump was just on 60 Minutes, and they asked him about World Liberty Financial and conflict of interest. And he says, my boys run that. I'm ask him about CZ and the pardon. He says, I know nothing about it. CZ made a huge investment in World Liberty Financial. So the people who are signing the checks, the people who are creating the deals, Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, who also runs Cantor Fitzgerald, and he divested out and put his son Brandon Lutnick in charge, and that's a cryptocurrency company that gives loans to cryptocurrency companies and is the custodian for Tether, the largest stablecoin in the world, USAT now in America, where Bo Hines stepped down and brought it into America, who is connected to Trump as a digital executive director for digital assets. It's pretty simple to see, guys. The difference is they're not hiding it. They're literally telling you to buy the dip. Eric Trump keeps saying buy the dip. But here's the thing. You've been convinced because of dates and price predictions that you were going to be a multi-millionaire by now. You've been waiting for that to happen. And I've been teaching you that's not how it works. It's discipline, consistency, ecosystems, protection, and doing the opposite of the 99%. As everybody's getting greedy, you should be selling. When everybody's fearful, you should be buying. Because it's not different this time. Cycles will always be the same. It's just different technology, different people, and a different landscape. But cycles will always be cycles. Markets will always be markets. There'll always be a bull. There'll always be a bear. And there'll always be a winner. And there'll always be a loser. Because just look at a little symbol of interest. There's only interest in the world. That's all the whole system runs off of. It's worldly. You're either on the asset side of that interest, making money, or you're on the poverty side, paying the money. Someone's paying the interest or someone's earning the interest. There's no middle ground. So your job is to learn how to get on the right side of that. Read the book Cash Flow Quadrant, Richest Man in Babylon. That's how my whole ecosystem is built. So all I did was build a disciplined ecosystem. I started this in 2020. I got out of the get rich quick and the hype. I was in all that, the riddlers and chasing dates and price predictions. And I realized I was just wrecking my portfolio and I was missing tons of opportunity. So I created what's called Capital DR. Focus on cash flow, not cash. Every time I get paid, so last bull run, I exited. I pulled profits because everybody got wrecked in 2022. They lost a bunch of profits. I pulled profits and we built cash generating businesses. With the cash generating businesses, my wealth increased. I didn't have lifestyle creep. I kept my bills almost the same. I took the excess cash flow. This time I did it right. I bought more cash flow. I bought the red in 2022, 2023, 2024. I built my asset base, Capital DR, cash flow into asset base, and I decided to work on accumulating things that have a fixed supply. My number 1 and number 2 are XRP and Bitcoin. My number 3 is Solana. My number 4 is XLM. My number 5 now is WLFI. It's about to jump XLM, believe it or not. HBAR, and then VeChain. Those are my top 7. Not recommendations, just sharing with you. And I have many others, but I'm going to be consolidating into... Admittedly, what's about to happen is it's going to be XRP, Bitcoin, and WFI, and then Solana. That's coming up very quickly. I'm stacking a lot of WFI. XRP, bridge currency, Bitcoin, store of value, and I think the World Liberty Financial is going to do something pretty... I think it's going to be a world bank. That's just my opinion. So those are my assets that appreciate over time. Bitcoin, we're never going to touch. We're going to move that into a store of value like gold and move it into leverage. When my assets go up, all those outside of Bitcoin, I pull profits. I don't sit there and rubberneck and wait for price predictions and bullshit hype. And I build protection. I use cash value life insurance. We know how to use them properly. The reason why the insurance industry gets a bad rap, number 1, they're not funded properly. They're not structured properly. They need cash in them. And they're sold as retirement policies. They're insurance policies that have cost of insurance. So if you don't understand how to structure these properly or fund them properly, of course they're not going to work. They're not set it and forget it. Build it, accumulate, and properly use it. Because of tax code 7702A, I now have a leverage category, which is Capital DRL. My Bitcoin in that category and my family bank insurance in that category. I'm on the right side of the lending quadrant. I'll borrow from my assets at low leverage. I'll buy what? More cash flow that pays off the leverage. Richest Man in Babylon. Read the book. Please read. You'll understand exactly what I'm saying if you read the book Richest Man in Babylon. I take $1, I earn. I take the earnings and I create a brother or sister. I save and then I create a brother or sister. And I save and I create a brother or sister. Then when I want something, like the boat that I bought, it's bought by dividends, assets. You see me out on my boat, that's bought for by assets. It took me 4 years to be patient, but I did it. So if you see any lifestyle creep, it's based on my net worth and that an asset can pay for the liability. Because I don't buy things that take away from my family's future. Most liabilities I have are run through my S-Corps and my companies. I don't even own a personal car because everything I do is business. My whole life is this. And then DR is Capital DR is de-risk, 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 de-risk. Nothing ever goes straight up. Nothing ever goes straight down unless it's a fraud. So like my cash generating dividends that pay me a large amount of return, I pretend they're going to go to 0. I de-risk out of them into Bitcoin and XRP. And when it goes parabolic, like XRP started to shoot up when Trump got elected, I de-risked a little bit. So as you're waiting for a price to hit this crazy price, we're building monster cash flow strategies, massive amounts of protection and freedom. That's how winning is done. I hope this information helps. If you made it this far, comment warrior. I love you so much. Warriors! Rise! Get your shit together. Let's go. Love you guys.